Hello everybody, it's me Sam here for WoopaGaming, and today we are going to, I'm going to show you how to install and use Minecart Mania. Minecart Mania is a Bukkit mod, and basically changes the functionality of buckets and makes them, not buckets, of minecarts, and it just makes them that little bit better. So this is the main thread, and I'm just going to briefly explain what each of the modules does. So you have Minecart Mania Core. This is what you have to have for all the other ones. This is just the basics. Minecart Mania Autocart. Now this just removes the friction of minecarts. In this tutorial I won't be using this one because it doesn't have effect on the boosters. This just removes all friction. So if you just don't really care about all this rest, that's the one to have. Minecart Mania Stations. This controls all the stationary processes. Minecart Mania sign commands. This is all the stuff where if you have like a sign next to a track, it will be run when a minecart goes next to it and whatever. Minecart admin controls. These are just general admin functions. It relies on the op function, so if you're an op you have the admin command. Minecraft Mania chest control. This is just basically chest dispensers, depositing, collecting, that sort of thing. Automations. Now this is one of the newest ones. Basically it adds industrial stuff, so like sugar farming and log farming, for instance. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and download that. I've already done it, and I've moved all the ones except from Minecart Autocart because well, I don't need that one for this plugin. I've also got essentials, permissions, and world edit just because I have, and permissions is not necessary for this plugin. It relies on the op function, as I've already stated. So we're going to go ahead and start it up. Nicely started up there. There it is. And you're going to want to log in. Now this is a world. I'll send this with when I release this tutorial. But this basically shows everything about Minecart. So first of all, we have booster blocks. Booster blocks are default gold blocks, and they boost the car 8 times the speed. So if we just demonstrate that now, if we start a car, I'll explain all this later. It boosts the car 8 times. Now that wasn't quite apparent there because it was at full speed, but you'll see later on what it does. So if we toggle it off using the redstone, it won't have that speed. Now that's the same for gold ore, which is a load speed boost, and it only does 2 times the speed, and that's also toggleable. So on gives it a boost, and when it's on it doesn't give it a boost. Cool stuff. Right, next up is high speed brake. Now that's soul sand, and it basically slows down the minecart 1/8 of the speed. That is also toggleable, so let's create a minecart, and as you see that is slowed down dramatically. If I just move this one back. So as well as this, we have the low speed brake, which is gravel default, and that makes half the speed. So if we create it, as you can see, it has dramatically done it, but not as much as the soul sand has. If I just reset both of these, you'll notice that if we start them at the same time, that one has slowed down more than that one. That's all you need to know. Okay, right. Next up, if this minecart appears, is ejector blocks. Now this will just eject players and mobs from the carts. So if I enter it, it will eject me when this, and that's an iron block, by the way. An iron block, and that's also toggleable with the redstone. What you notice over here, these things have been bouncing back. Now this is a reverser, and it's a cloth block, and it just changes the cart direction, and that is also toggleable with redstone. Okay. Also, here we have is a capture. It just captures. I'll show you. It effectively just stops the cart if the minecart is unpowered. No, the minecart obsidian block is unpowered. If we unpower it, then it will just stop, but it won't start again. Now this is another one on this. If I get the cart going, it will hold the minecart for the defined settings. Now you do this by typing in hold for and then the number of seconds, so that's going to be 5 seconds, 20 seconds, however long you like. Okay, now this is a pretty cool one. Now these are sensors. I'm not going to show you all the sensors, but you can find them on the wiki, and I'll provide a link in the description. But these are activated when the arguments are met. So what you do is I haven't got a repeater. I need to give myself a repeater. What you do is you place a sign in front of the track. Wait, I need to stop this because it will just keep erasing what I put. You type in sensor and then the ID. So the ID I'm going to use is 0, which is just any cart. And then I want to right click this with a tool. So I've used a pickaxe, and then whenever the minecart passes in front of it, which applies to the arguments, which is everything, the redstone will be created. So there we are, the redstone's been created. Okay. Now this is another one. This is an elevator. What you do is wait, let me just get it started. Place one sign with the word elevator at the top line. You can't see that in there, but it does say it, facing the track so that it smashes into it. And then directly vertically above it or below it, you can place another sign with elevator, and it will basically teleport vertically up and down, like so. Now, one of the functions of pressure plate is it being a mine track. So, for instance, this one acts as a X plate, and it will just go across it as if it was a normal minecart piece. Now, if we get into one of these, if I can get into one of these, when we come to it, we can choose which direction to go. So, I've destroyed the minecart. My mistake, sorry. And, right, that's an announcement. I haven't said that about that, but if we click, we can choose the direction of where we want to go. See, and then we go in that direction. I'm going a bit slow, but you know. And if you noticed before, when we passed this point here, it gave us an announcement. So what we do is type announce on the first line, and then any arguments we want on the next 3 lines. If we want to break up an argument, just use the exclamation mark directly in front of the word. So if you notice, it says "Oh hi, nice to meet you" on 2 lines. That's because I have an exclamation mark to the left of the nice. Now, following on from eject, we also have eject here. So what we do, we place eject here on a sign nearby. I'm not sure, I'll just try and find out. Yeah, it has to be within 8 blocks. And then whenever a player goes on the block of the ejector, it'll teleport them to the sign. Now that could be pretty useful actually. Let's just take a day. Now this is one of the first, well, one of them, the minecart automations. Now this is the forestry one. So what this will do is if it's going past, it will basically destroy the tree and then replant sapling. The way you do this is do auto timber and auto forest. So this will just dispense saplings where the trees were, and then it will mine the logs. Now to change the range of this, the default range of course is 2. You type in range, colon, and then a number. So I put 7 in because I just thought 7 was a good number. So if I show you now, if I create a tree, as you see, as the minecart went past, it mined all the wood and planted a sapling in place. So I'll come back to those later. Now also over here, this is a crop farm. If I just start this up here, what this will do is, first of all, we define a range. So I defined a range of 5, and that's just 5 radius in a square. So first of all, I put auto till. Now this, any dirt in this area will get tilled by this. And secondly, auto seed. Now this, any seeds near this, or any tilled grass will have seeds in it, but you must put seeds in the dispenser, in the storage minecart. And finally, we have auto harvest. Now any of these that grow to full height will get auto harvested by the storage dispenser, and then therefore seeded again. So we're going to take a look inside here. We can see it's got some wheat already. The last of the automations is the reed farm. So first of all, I set the range to 4, and then I typed in auto sugar. This will just capture any sugar that is higher than 2, as you can see. And then finally I put auto plant. So this will just generally gain, when the reeds grow, it will cut them down and then replant them. So really take a look, it's got some reeds there, and if you notice, if I break one, it will automatically just replant one straight away. So mobs and stuff will just have no effect really. Now we come to chest controls. First of all, we have a chest dispenser. This is pretty simple. It's literally just a chest with minecarts in. When you power it, it will dispense a cart into the nearest track. Now I put launch east, which I need to explain as well. If you put an obsidian block, and then you need to put down a sign and then type launch and then the directions, so we can find the direction by doing that. And if you have essentials, you can type in compass and it'll tell you the bearing, so east. So we can type in launch and then east. When the minecart is appeared here, it will launch it in east direction, which is that way. So when the minecart appears here, it will go along the track and then go into this minecart. It'll go into that chest. So if we do that again, you'll notice that's got 2, that one's got none, and now this one's got 1 as well. Okay, now before we get on to this one, we're going to show you what these are. So basically, if you have a chest parallel to the track, and then you put a sign next to it with collect items and then what items you want to collect, it will collect any items that the storage minecart has. So this minecart is mining logs, so it will have logs in it. So what we want to do is collect the logs. So we collect items log, and then whenever this minecart with logs passes by, it will collect the logs. So we have a 64 and plus 7 there. However, we also want to make it have saplings. So what we can do is we can make a deposit items chest. Again, like the collect items, we put it parallel, and whenever this comes past, it will give saplings to it. We can use the all items to deposit all items in the chest. So if I give myself a sapling, or 2 saplings, and place it in there, you'll notice it's taken the thing and then it's now in that moving minecart, which I can't catch. Okay, right, moving on. Now this is something I made, and it uses furnaces. Now, furnaces work the same as deposit items and collect items, as it is better to use this notation. So the first line you have deposit items, and then these are all the items that the furnace will deposit. So for instance, we have stone, glass, iron bars, and gold bars. Now the next line we have fuel, and then this is what will fuel the thing. So coal and logs at the moment. So this is basically when the minecart goes past, it will put coal and logs in here, and then when the minecart goes past, we need to also smelt certain ones. So we have sand, iron ore, gold ore, and cobble. So that will happen. Now notice I run out of room. I can just place a sign still within 2 blocks of the furnace, and it will still apply to that. Now over here I've got another chest which will collect items produced by the furnace, and also deposit items that I want smelted. So I want smelted everything plus the fuel. So for instance, if I add cobblestone, the cobblestone gets collected and it gets moved into this where it starts being smelted. So that's being smelted right now, and if you notice, that's got 22. Still got 22. Give it some time. 23, there we are. So you could have that set up, and so that all your chests, whenever you put cobblestone or anything, it would just literally just nick it from the chest and smelt it. Okay, finally we have stations. Stations are quite new, I think, and this is basically you have to use a brick block. Now a brick block will determine what happens when they get to the station. So I'll show you the links on the description, but this is an example. We can use player and then colon and then the direction we want, and we can use empty and then the colon. We can also use player names, whether they're holding stuff, but I thought this was a good demonstration, player and empty. So for instance, if we have a minecart which is empty, it will go east towards welcome empty. If we have a minecart which has a player in, it will go west to welcome player. So if I just place a minecart, as you can see, it goes to empty. So now if I'm in it, I'll go to welcome player. Now that's configurable with commands, so the player can type in st and then a station name, so I don't know, Jals, just a random word I just typed in, and you can configure it for Jals. So you do st colon and then Jals, and then whenever it gets to a station, if it's not Jals, then it'll go one way. If it is Jals, then it'll go the way you defined. Okay, lastly is player commands. Now these are first of all the op commands. These are only available to ops, as you know. Minecart Mania does not require permissions. The first one is eject, so you type in eject and then the player name. So the only person on the server is me, and it ejects me from the minecart. We can also use perm eject, which ejects the player from the minecart, and they won't be able to get into another minecart until I either permanently eject them again or the server is restarted. Other commands is clear empty carts. This will just clear the whole world of empty carts. If you have -d, yeah, I think it's hyphen, remove all the empty minecarts from the server, but it'll destroy them. If you just leave that, it will give the owner back their minecart, which is a nice touch. And then that also applies to clear powered carts, clear storage carts, and clear occupied carts. Lastly, you can always set the config key, all of which are in plugins Minecart Mania, and here we have all the text files. You won't have that there, I just placed it there because I didn't want to delete it, but all the they go with the jar files. Oh, that was a bad noise. So I can edit anything here, such as default blocks, the ranges and stuff like that. So time day again. Lastly is the standard player commands. So if I go into a moving minecart, such as this one, if I type in momentum, it will show me the momentum I have. So I've only got 0.2 in the Z direction, which is not great. I can also get config of any key. I can also list config keys, and that will just show me all the values. So for instance, high speed brake is value 88, which is gold block. And you can of course have pages of these, so there's 5 pages of keys, and I can always get a config of a certain key, and of course ups can set the keys. I can also do TR compass, and it shows the true direction I'm facing. And lastly, ST, as I've already showed, and then the station name, so JL2. And lastly, if auto cart is on, you can change the throttle of the cart. I don't have this, but you can type throttle and then the percentage of how much faster or slower you want the cart to go. So 500% would be 5 times faster, 50% would be twice as slow. And I believe that concludes today's tutorial. I'll probably upload this world so you can use it. Some of the carts slow down for some reason on my server, but it's totally cool. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tune in next time, I guess. Thanks for watching. Bye.